Well, hello, friends and neighbors. John, your whiskey neighbor here, and welcome outside of the deck. It is a beautiful day. The air is actually a little cold, but as you may know, it's a covered deck, so it's a great place to visit, talk whiskey. I've got two big rye samples from Michael. He sent, you might recall, a couple of cask strength or barrel proof bourbons that I talked about last week, and this week we're going to talk about Willett 4-year-old rye. That's a 52.9% rye, and Wilderness Trail. This barrel, 15017, is 56.5. So when we come back, I'm going to get into some highly anticipated beautiful rye. Thank you, Michael, for sharing.
3, 4.
Okay, as I said in the intro, I'm going to talk more rye. Just the other day, I went through batch 1 and 2 of Alberta Premium. Did it blind, and I'm okay with the results. Today, we're just not going to go blind. It's first tasting only, so I can't really rate or evaluate, but maybe I can share some of the experience. So first, Willett Rye. I haven't seen it up here. I'm sure it has been, but I don't know. I haven't seen it at least recently. You know, it comes off, says it's a 4-year-old rye. My understanding is it's a mix of their higher rye, like a 74% rye. Oh boy, what are they, a 15% barley? No, I can't remember. I'll put it down below, but I remember the 74% rye and a 51% rye. They've ratioed that out and created, you know, this 52.9%, that's the alcohol, rye expression, age stamped at 4 years. Let's see what we get. This actually, to me, one of the first notes is some brown sugar and some caramel. Now I would add a little bit of, it's not full dill, but a little bit of a herbal or that kind of note. Maybe a little mint. Yeah, I'd go a little more mint, a little more herbal, mixed with, you know, that first nose, which was caramel, brown sugar. It's good to be out here, eh? The noises of outside, I can hear birds and actual neighbors. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it gets a little more spicy on the nose, kind of evolves a bit, but yeah, it has a darker, like a burnt toffee to it as well. All right. Here's my going into Willett Rye. Hope you have something. Cheers. Oh, that is really good. That, was a richness, just rolled across the palate. Like a buttery, cooked down, well, now lots of spiciness coming through. Some cracked pepper, a little bit of cinnamon, but darker, so more clove, more nutmeg. Well, more clove, not nutmeg so much. But it's got a really rich, like thick burnt toffee or light nuttiness, cooked nuttiness to it. Wow, I'm gonna try another little sip. Second sip really echoed the first. Lots of flavor, but almost a French oak, you know, a nutty wood. Maybe it's a barley nutty huskiness. It's got to me, it's absolutely first thoughts, a couple of sips in, but it's got a real green, cooked grain to balance some of the upfront toffee. Little bit of mint. The mint was more in the nose than in the palate, and a spicy, structured. Whoo, boy, that's a great experience. Now I'm going to follow it with some sips of Wilderness Trail. I've seen some videos, mostly from Bourbon Journey, talk about Wilderness Trail, and I've just been waiting for their bottles, bourbon, rye, to come up here. And that Michael sent me this is just fantastic. So as I said, this is, you know, barrel 15017, and it's 56.5% alcohol. This one, I believe, is 56% rye, balancing corn. I'll put the specific mash bill down here. It's a sweet mash process, and they actually give quite a bit of information of, how they put it together, where they put it in their rick houses. Actually, they age it near the top, and that the minimum is 4 years, but that their releases tend to be between 6 and 8 years old, so it possibly is a bit older. But I've been hearing very good things of Wilderness Trail, and I'm excited to see what this one gives me. In this context, even though it's stronger percent, it's a little bit of a lighter nose, a little more vanilla, a little less cooked brown sugar. Yeah, it's quite balanced. Now I am almost outside, so there's more moving air. A gentle, light toasted vanilla nose to that, actually. This has continued to move into a real cooked down, darker expression. Oh, I know the Wilderness Trail is also unchill filtered. I don't know about Willett, but so this hasn't had anything, stripped out of it. I'm going to come back to the nose after I've had a sip. That sometimes really helps my palate understand what's going on. So again, hope you have some kind of rye. Cheers. It's a really nice spirit. It's got some almost upfront peppery note, like really came to the front of my palate, which is less usual than the general side and kind of rye hug. I am getting that, but it really came forward. And the spirit though is lighter. It's almost honeyed, vanillas. Very gentle rye herbaceous note. Not as strong as in the Willett. It's got a lighter coating, but still feels nice in the mouth. And there I've got a little more. Okay. There it opened up. Took a bigger sip. I'm really trying to get at it. Now I've got a little more of that, slight menthol, not quite dill, but that you can get from rye. Good structured spicing. Oak is a little lighter, although I think they use a number 4 charred barrel, which you'd think would really come across, harder char. Going to come back to the Willett. So the differences for me in these two, and they're both gorgeous, I would love either, is a highlight of differences. I find the Willett a little more coating, but it has a husky nuttiness that runs the whole gamut, whether that's a darker toffee or darker sugar, or a nuttiness, grainy barleyness that comes in, really all the way through. I find the Wilderness Trail, even though it's a little higher alcohol, is a little bit lighter, a little bit sweeter, like a honeyed malt. Oh, and it's just starting to wake up. Now, among the cracked pepper, I almost get a little bit of buttery corn, a popcorn note in there, which is quite nice. So a little bit of that oiled corn kind of going on as well. These are beautiful. They're just fantastic ryes, and if you like rye, they actually are continuing to separate a little bit different. Far more cracked pepper, far more cooked nuttiness. Just in this first tasting, and I'd love to keep sipping here on the deck, listening to the sounds of the world waking up. Spring is finally coming here to Edmonton, Alberta, and I hope that that new life that spring brings naturally across, all the animals and the plants and trees as they wake up. I hope that all of us experience some of that new hope and that awakening that I think we need in our mental wellness or emotional spirit. I know it feels like a long winter. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks again to Michael, and I hope you have a fantastic week.